Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Friday afternoon, or after lunchtime. Is this your last day of work for the week? Well, it's Friday, so the answer's probably yes there. Or maybe yes. Maybe work weekends. I don't know. Shouldn't assume anything. Is this your last day of work for the year? Who knows? Depends on who you are, I guess. Again, this forecast made possible by ServPro, Monroe West Monroe water, mold, fire damage. Call or click servpro.com for more today. Sunshine across the region to start this afternoon. And while it is a little bit cooler outside, it's made for a pretty nice start to the day, and we'll probably end it on a very similar note. Radar made possible by Brown's Roofing. Nothing doing in our area, but a look at the national loop, and it's messy in the northeast. There's some snow moving through the portions of the upper Midwest, and the Pacific Northwest is dealing with their own stuff, along with some very windy conditions in the Intermountain West, and that has caused some issues in terms of some travel delays. In fact, Denver was in the middle of a ground stop up until, I believe, the top of the hour. At noon, that was lifted because it was until 11 Mountain Time. They were having some wind issues. So there's still some delays if you have friends or family that if you're flying out and you have to go to Denver, or you have friends or family flying in from Denver. Same for Boston. They're actually dealing with some pretty big headaches in terms of delays over an hour there. And also Miami. About 20 to 25 minute delays on average. Obviously, want to check with your airlines, but it just depends. Like I said, there's a lot of folks that are getting their travel started kind of early, and airports get busy from here on in through the rest of the really through the rest of the year, because like I said, travel's just on an increase for the next couple of weeks. Here's a look at temperatures across the area as we hit the lunchtime time frame. 56 in Monroe, 53 in El Dorado, 56 in Natchez. Temperatures and the overall forecast just got a full refresh at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the app. Most of us will probably fall back to near 40 degrees tonight, but as I mentioned, our winds will shift gradually through the day. So as our winds return to the south through the overnight hours, there's a lot of skepticism, at least in my head, as to how much we can really cool off. I would venture to say that some of us fall relatively quickly into the upper 30s to near 40 with a slow, methodical warming trend towards sunrise. Only a matter of a few degrees, but we won't be getting cooler towards sunrise. Those southerly winds start to transport some warmer air in. Those southerly winds also pick up in nature as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. We talked about that during the early morning stream. Winds are likely in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range. I wouldn't be surprised to see some gusts above 20 miles per hour through the afternoon tomorrow. And then as we go through the daytime hours, we'll introduce a new cold front into the region, specifically for Saturday night into Sunday morning. Could bring some slightly cooler temperatures for Sunday. Actually, temperatures will stagger from north to south, much cooler to the north, still relatively mild to the south, and we'll work some rain chances in then as well. Monday, Tuesday, we're back on the warming trend by the middle parts of next week, regardless of rain chances, and those rain chances have increased a little bit for Monday. But by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the rain chances in whatever form are pretty much zapped in the forecast. That's another one of the more noticeable changes to the forecast. If you go to the app or if you go to the website, rain chances for Monday are up, especially for the western counties and parishes. But either way, we're trending back above normal by the early and middle parts of next week. Dew points are quite dry. That leads to the issue that we have to overcome a lot of dry air to get any kind of rain down to the surface with that front Saturday night into Sunday. And also the fact that the lack of rainfall continues to be a problem. The drought monitor was updated yesterday. I showed it as soon as it was issued yesterday morning. Good afternoon, Betty. Good afternoon, Mr. Eddie. But if you missed the drought monitor, here it is. Moderate drought conditions starting to expand across the region. Abnormally dry for most of us. Only areas that are still faring okay, generally the Mississippi Valley. Wind speeds. Generally calm, but shifting. As I mentioned, high pressure is basically parked right over the top of us currently. eastern areas still with the clockwise circulation around a high-pressure center. Eastern areas are still seeing a northerly influence on the winds, but the ArkLaMiss region is still seeing a northerly influence on the winds. The ArkLaTex region is already getting the southerly winds, and everybody's sandwiched in between, which is basically our entire coverage area. Winds are fairly light to generally calm. And if you are catching a breeze, the Mississippi Valley, it's out of the north. Far western reaches out of the south. Always fun when a high-pressure center just parks right over the top of you because you know it. You can see all the winds kind of swirling around you. And same with low-pressure centers, but it's usually a little bit more disruptive because low pressure brings bad weather. Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. That high-pressure center moves east, and this is what I was talking about in terms of temperatures. By 3 a.m., our entire area's got winds out of the south. And so whatever cooling trend we were on by midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., it's probably going to stop, and it's probably going to stop pretty quickly. Clouds move back in gradually through the daytime hours on Saturday, along the boundary Saturday night into Sunday. Showers a possibility, just generally along the front. It will continue to advance to the south. I know the surface analysis there pushes the front out over to the northern Gulf, but if you follow the wind speeds and the wind directions, the front generally looks like it may actually kind of stall in this area right here. I've been working on my front drawing. Not really. I don't just sit here drawing imaginary fronts. If that were the case, I would really need to reevaluate my time. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't run into a stationary boundary in this general area by Sunday morning. What would that do? That front provides some lift in the atmosphere, a little bit of overrunning moisture. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities to muster up some showers through the day. Sunday, maybe even into Monday. Because again, Futurecast shows this boundary in whatever form kind of retreating back to the north as a warm front, really kind of at that point getting pushed well back into Arkansas as a warm front during this stretch. And that could drive some general light shower activity through the day on Monday. So again, as I mentioned, the forecast has changed just a tad to include better rain chances for Monday. If you are watching this stream and you're going, this looks like he's just talking about a whole bunch of boring, not a whole lot's going to happen. You're right. I don't want you wasting time on weather that's not overly impactful for you. I'm not, like I said, I love the clicks, the shares, the comments, interacting with you on a daily basis, great. But I also am not going to try to sit here and make a mountain out of a molehill in terms of what we're dealing with regarding the weather, because this is a very quiet stretch. Very small rain chances, very light rain totals this weekend, and then we're just trending warmer for Christmas Day and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Futurecast showing the mid-level winds, and I'm not even going to interrupt this. I think this is a really cool map. Sometimes putting pauses in a graphic kind of ruins the essence of it. But what you're seeing right now is general northwesterly flow aloft, which has brought that temporary cool air in. By the end of this animation, you're going to have the big ridge of high pressure planted right over our area. Again, providing sinking, compressing, warming air. But I'm just going to put this into motion over about the next 10 to 15 seconds. And I want you to watch this general area and watch how much warm, humid air gets transported from the Gulf, and it just kind of gets injected into the central United States. Again, when you put pauses in graphics and stuff like that, sometimes it ruins the essence of the storytelling of what the atmosphere is showing us. So here it goes into motion. Again, cold, watch the warm air start moving in. Immediately along the coast, then starts to stream in, and it becomes even more widespread, gets kind of bottled up along the Mississippi Valley. Then it starts expanding into the Great Lakes region, and even through the Ohio Valley, and even into the Northeast by the middle parts and end parts of next week. And I think that was a really cool graphic to show, because not only does it show that warm air bottling up, kind of pooling up along the Gulf coastline, but when the upper level pattern shifts eastward and that ridge moves eastward, it takes all of that warm air and starts transporting it all across the country. I just thought, I was looking at it and I was like, man, that's cool. I should show everybody that. So there it is. Daytime highs for the rest of the day in the upper into the 50s to near 60 degrees. Again, I would not be surprised to see the 60-degree mark, especially with winds already starting to shift to the south in the western counties and parishes. Lows tonight, upper 30s to near 40. Again, some skepticism as to how cool we will actually get tonight as winds return to the east-southeast, then likely out of the south by daybreak. A look at your 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. A weak front Saturday brings the rain chances back in Sunday. Again, a note that that's the change in the forecast. The more dramatic change to the forecast is that Sunday and Monday, those rain chances have been bumped to just a smidge. Those are the only changes. They're not dramatic changes. Upper 60s to low 70s as we head through the early parts of next week. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day both look warm and dry. Still looking at the possibility of a storm system sometime between Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Do I know any more about it? No, and we won't know any more about it for a while now. And that's how the forecast shakes out. Midday, Friday, December 19th. Reminder, the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank, is a digital weather platform serving 33 parishes and counties across northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and western Mississippi. It is made possible 100% free to you by the local businesses that you see there on your screen. Your role is simple. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Download the Digital Weather Desk app. Like, comment, and share on the content that you feel is necessary for other people to know about. And support our local business partners when you can, if you can. Even if it's just a simple message. Hey, thanks for supporting the Digital Weather Desk, whatever it takes. We appreciate you doing that. Oh, it sounds like nap time may be over in my house. Again, that's pretty much a wrap on the forecast for this afternoon anyway. Like I said, don't get it twisted. Looks like quiet conditions are here to stay for a little while, and if anything changes in that regard, I'll let you know about it. We talked about favorite Christmas movies the other day. Here in about an hour and 15 minutes or so, we're going to talk about your least favorite Christmas songs. Least favorite, not your favorite, because everybody's got favorites. It's easy to pick favorites. It's also really easy to pick the ones that we don't like. Forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app, available for Apple and Android users. I'll check in with you later today. Fish and game later tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, everybody.